Wednesday, so happy hump day. I hope you're having a great week, no matter what you're doing. If you're in Melbourne like me and you're still in lockdown, I hope it's going well for you. So this week we're talking about success. And success, it's one of those words that's bandied around, and often people have this romanticised view of success because they think that things can come easily, that success requires luck. And I certainly come from the perspective that luck can help. But for most people who have been successful, there's been a whole raft of things that they've done. The most important thing though with success is that success is personal, because what's your definition of success and my definition of success might be different. So I'm going to share some ideas and some things that you can think about, some common challenges that I've seen people face when they've tried to make progress. And so they've been sitting back and thinking, I want to do this and I want to do well, but something's getting in my way. So I'm going to share 7 traps. The question for you, which of these might apply? Firstly, you blame others. We have choices every day about what we do and what we don't do. Yet, like most people, there's going to be times when things just don't work. And it's not necessarily about defining that as failure, because we know that it's through the times when things are tough and times when things aren't quite working that we're often learning the most and often at our best. So the question is to consider, when things aren't working for yourself, who do you look to blame? Who do you look to point the finger at? And are you looking to find fault? Because are you in fact actually the one who's letting yourself down? 2, you're too busy. It can be really easy to be busy all the time, but are you busy on the things that really matter? Because when you combine that sense of just busyness and running around trying to get everything done, it's very easy to get to the end of the day and feel like you've achieved very little. Often busyness is a choice, because what you need to do is get really clear on what you're saying yes to and what you're saying no to. So are you really conscious about how you use your time, and are you focused on what really matters? Number 3, complacency. Complacency is a trap. It's very easy to sit back and go, well, I've made the decision, I've decided what I'm going to do now, but that little bit ahead, that looks a little bit too hard. So perhaps I'm going to try and take the easy path. The challenge with taking the easy path is often it's not the best path. And wishing that something's going to get easier doesn't make it get easier. It gets easier when you sit with the problem, when you reflect on it, when you work through what the options are. So my question for you is, are you letting your desire for what's easy get in the way of the progress that you need to make? Number 4, you think you need to have all the answers. It's nice to feel like you know everything. It's nice to feel like you have all the answers. And it can be really hard as a leader these days to say, I don't know. It's impossible for one person to have all the answers. And if you're certain all the time, you're not open to different ideas. So when you're certain that you're right, you need to challenge yourself and wonder, have you stopped listening? Have you stopped opening yourself to different perspectives? Number 5, you shy away from failure. Now, it's very easy for people to talk about failure and embracing failure. And you often see it as a mantra in organisations. We love learning and we love failing and failing fast. But I'm really yet to see a leader who embraces it. And that's because when something doesn't work out, we can internalise it and we ruminate and worry about it. So the challenge for you is to consider, how do you use those learnings to push you forward? How do you see each discovery when things haven't worked, that actually that's just getting me closer to the answer, getting me closer to where it is that I need to get to? So are you closing yourself off from learning? Number 6, you've lost time. Now you might go, what do you mean by that? So when you think about it, time is important because we need to be present. We also need to focus on the past because we learn from the past, but we also need to think about what's coming down the pipeline. We need to think about the future. So it's those 3 elements, the past, the present, and the future, and we need to balance how much time we're spending on each of those. If you're only thinking about the past, you're not moving forward. If you're only focused on the present, you're not looking to the past to learn, and also you're not preparing for the future. If you're only ever looking at the future, you're not enjoying what you have now. Lastly, are you putting in persistent effort? Because progress, it's a combination. You can think of it like an equation. Making progress is that right balance between persistence and effort. You know, it was the author George Eliot who said, it's never too late to be who you might have been. So my question for you is, out of those 7 elements, are any of those hindering you from making the progress that you want to make? Take care, have a great week, and I'll see you next week.